Hebu chukua hii, lakini usiende udunge kwa nyumba yangu. Kaa naye tu. Unakaa naye hapo tu, nikimaliza unanirudishia. Ladies and gentlemen, from my earlier statements, you probably already have an idea of what I want to say. But what I want to say here is the performance of the government that we have so far compared to the others we have had in the past. Then you can make a decision. Mbele pamoja. Because when I spoke to you earlier, I had said that when we go to political election, we have to choose the person who can perform the role that the office requires of him. And a government like the one we have today has to do infrastructure for us to be able to move, to be able to travel, to have social services, and even health services. The infrastructure that we have in this country today, starting with transport. 3 years of this government up to today, we are already having equipment on the road to do the Rironi-Mau Summit Road. But why is that road very necessary at this point in time? Remember, Kenya got independence in 1963. The first road ever to be done, dual carriageway to east transport, was Nairobi to Thika. Thika is practically Gatundu. Then thereafter, President Moi came to power. I don't remember any roads out of the capital anywhere that were done. Then President Mwai Kibaki came to power. He decided to do the first ever super highway in Kenya. It did not go towards Narok, Kajiado, Kisumu, Nakuru. It was again towards Thika. Then came President Uhuru Kenyatta. He decided to build the first ever long distance dual carriageway. It did not go to Nakuru. It did not go towards Kisumu. It did not go towards Narok or Kajiado or Mombasa. It was again towards Thika and went all the way to Nyeri town, 161 kilometers away, passing through Marua, Makutano, and Sagana. Bwana asifiwe. It is now time to get a president who knows that Kenya has Mombasa in it, has Kisumu in it, has Narok in it, has Eldoret in it, and those people also deserve roads. Why do I talk like that? The other day I was watching TV and I saw sons and daughters of those areas, some sleeping in buses, some singing outside the road because the road was impassable. Why? Because there is no transport infrastructure to that direction. And do you know, if we had built the SGR beyond Naivasha to Kisumu, Eldoret, and Busia, we would have not slept on the road. Because many of us would have used the railway line. So, it is very important to develop infrastructure from to all directions. I have never been explained to why the SGR could not go beyond Naivasha. Yet there was possibly easy to get money to do the expressway that we used to come here. There was money to rehabilitate the Nairobi-Nanyuki railway. Priority. A president that gives priority. And people have argued and told me, oh, you know, Mr. Widi, you are being hard on the previous regime. I am not hard. I am only comparing apples to apples. You know, there is also the infrastructure of air transport. We do a project through public-private partnership when it is too big for our taxes to do it instantly. So we go and look for somebody who has a lot of money outside Kenya, and we say, come and help us build this. Then collect your money from it. When you have got your money back, go away and leave it to us to use. Right? That is called public-private partnership. So President William Ruto decided that I also need our airport to compete with the one in Ethiopia and the one in Rwanda. Those are our main competitors in this part of the world. Ethiopia had just done a new modern airport, and so is Rwanda. So our president decided this is what we ought to do. Then he looked for somebody outside the country that has a lot of money. They resisted it. The same way they are resisting Maurironi, the same way they are resisting Talanta Stadium, the same way they were resisting Shah. They are resisting everything the president is trying to do. Everything. Resist me, but don't resist what I'm doing for my people. Even if they thought Adani was not a good man, we did not want Adani to come and own the airport. We wanted to bring his money to build for us, get his money back and go away. That's all we wanted from it. In any case, when the previous president was building the expressway, he did not tell us who he was partnering with. He did not tell us, and we didn't ask, and we don't care, and it was built, and he has disappeared. Today, we would be having a new airport. The more planes that come to Kenya, the nearer we get to Singapore. President William Ruto went to Kitui, modernized the stadium and the airport. He went to Homa Bay, modernized the stadium and the airport. He went to Kakamega, modernized the stadium and the airport. He went to Narok, modernized the stadium. An airport is coming. What really do we want from a president? What really do we want? Do we want him to be our tribe only? He needs to be somebody who serves Kenya from all corners. If we leave the airports, let's go to the railways. The president has decided that even though in the previous regime, the past president built the SGR from his farm in Mariakani, straight through Kitengela to another of his farms in Naivasha, without caring who it will serve. That piece of railway that leaves Mlolongo, is it Syokimau, up to Naivasha, who is it serving? Is there anybody who takes the train to Naivasha? Why was that? Yet these very people come resisting everything the president is doing. They have gone to court to stop the Rironi Mau Summit, right? But they did not go to court to stop the Kenol Nyeri Road. They did not go to court to stop the expressway. They did not go to court to stop the SGR. That is why I keep on saying, in Kenya, we are all Kenyans, and we must share the resources equally, including leadership positions. If today somebody from Mount Kenya is the president, next time it must be somebody from Narok or Kajiado. That is when we'll have a country. But when some people use their large numbers and proximity to Nairobi to lord over the others, And the wealth they acquired because their land was near Nairobi and an acre was going for 50 million and mine in Nyalguga is going for 200,000 to lord over us. I think we are going to say enough is enough. It is time we are going to insist it is 2 term so that our chance as the Maasai, our chance as the Kisii, our chance as the Luo, our chance as the Luyas is also there to become president. So, we are going to extend SGR to Kisumu, take. We are going to do the Kitengela, Magadi, dual carriageway, take. So that every corner, many of you are young, and the choice of Gen Zs to protest against President William Ruto was well chosen because you don't have the benefit of history. Nobody knew when was Thika Road made dual, when was Thika Road made superhighway, when you don't know. That is why you can be used. But me who knows they can't misuse me. In fact, before I go to the other things, I would even suggest we move the capital city from where it is today and have the new capital city in Narok. So that Narok also develops like Nairobi has developed. There are people who have even told Kenyans, the Luos are lazy, the Maasai are lazy, the Luyas are lazy people, but them, they are not lazy. They are not lazy because their land was near the capital city. A small piece, a quarter, an acre. You are paid 300 million and you start business and you move on and you say others are lazy. And the lazy ones, you don't want a road to be built to their counties. You don't want the railway to reach their counties. You don't want a proper airport to be built in their counties. You even go to court. Bwana asifiwe wanaume kwa wanawake. Now, we were told in this country that SHA is bad and is not working. But they know they are telling people who do not understand what SHA is supposed to do. SHA is only supposed to pay your bills in hospital. It is not supposed to provide medicine. Medicine is your governor. It is not supposed to bill for you the hospital. The hospital is your governor. SHA will come and pay the bill. But then they go to the hospital and find your governor did not remit your contribution. And so the hospital told you, you are not going to be treated because you are not a member. Then they say, no, SHA is not working. Ruto must go. When it is your governor here who has not remitted your contribution. Habari wanaume kwa wanawake. So we must explain to you these things so when you go to vote, you will choose between 2 people who is the better one. Today they are telling you Ruto must go, but they are not telling you who must come in. Because they know who must come in has worse things in his closet than President William Ruto. Yes. They want to make him dirty. Until they start saying, even if you bring a dog, we will elect now. Because they are painting him dirty and there's no one to compare it with. If you want to take over President William Ruto, we want to see you at the door telling us what you have done. Or what you are going to do. But you can't tell us that Ruto must go is your agenda and you don't have any other. You can't resist my agenda. You can't resist my development projects, but you do not even have a plan. If you don't want us to build Rironi Mau Summit, tell us you what you want to build. Tell us what you want to build. Or if the way we are building is not correct, tell us how you want to build yours correct when you take power. Correct. But now let me tell you the problem. I don't want to tell you everything Ruto has done or is going to do. Let me tell you the problem. Even here, hata hawa ma-MCA ukiwa elect, you find Ole Sankara and Ole Tito are going to compete. Whenever Ole Tito is doing something, Ole Sankara wants to stop it, wants to discredit it. It's out of simple jealousy. It is an issue of legacy. So when President William Ruto has built the best stadium in Africa called Talanta, they feel pain because their legacy is weaker than his. It's going to be weaker than his. When they want to build the Mau Summit to Rironi and back, they feel pain because they have not done anything of that magnitude. When you have brought a SHA system, which now has 47 million Kenyans registered, 27 million Kenyans registered, and yours only had 4. You feel pain because he's going to have a better legacy. When he wants to make Kenyan airport to be the best in Africa, you feel pain because you are in that seat for 10 years and you did nothing. This is the problem we have. So when you go to health, Ruto is going to be best. Road transport, Ruto is going to be the best. Airport, Ruto is going to be the best. Stadiums, Ruto is going to be the best. This is the problem. The other problem is resources. Because these people believe when you do something for the people, that is where you steal a little money like they used to do. So they want you not to do anything. Let them take power from you and come and do it. Kenya is for all of us, and we must share the resources equally and equitably. That is when we will have a country. Finally, I want to tell you something. It will not be very nice for some of you. After the 2022 general election, Azimio went onto the road to protest the server, to protest the cost of living. I am not sure what else. But let me take those two. The Katiba ya Kenya inasema once the Supreme Court has decided, nothing can change it. So do you think going to the road to open the server was genuine? It wasn't. And who was going? Not ODM, Azimio. Who was the boss of Azimio? Uhuru Kenyatta. Who was the immediate former president? Uhuru Kenyatta. He's on the streets sending Kioni, Karua, Raila, Edeni Kwa street. Every day, the big wigs who are addressing those people are being given almost 500,000 per day allowance to go into the street. After it was clear it is going nowhere, Raila Odinga called it off because he found it unnecessary. Who left Raila Odinga? Karua went, Kioni went, all that group went. They went and called a meeting in Limuru called Limuru 3. And what did they say? Ruto must go, we are not waiting for 2027. And as Ruto was going, according to them, they were planning, who do we use now? We have tried to use ODM and those super rioters of ODM and they have failed. Let's use Gen Zs. Because it is easy to convince them that is wrong. Already when you go to convince them, you'll tell you, but when Uhuru was in power, this was right. When Kibaki was in power, this was right. How come it is now wrong when it is Ruto? Because I remember when Uhuru came to be president, the budget was 1.6 trillion. His first budget, it was 1.85 trillion. How come increasing taxes progressively is now wrong during Ruto? How come? So, my brothers and sisters, Kenya belongs to all of us. If you also want a chance to one day be the president, you must ensure that who is sitting there is given an opportunity to finish the exam. If you have a 3-hour exam and somebody after failing the first question is telling you, we must take the paper out of you and disqualify you, is wrong. Ruto must take 5 years and we see how he has done. But already now, we are very sure he has done well. So, we start a new protest called the Finance Bill. And this Finance Bill was going to be the second by President William Ruto. And we protest, and we invoke the Constitution, one that says you are free to protest, but it also says only peaceably. The only peaceful protests I know are those ones by teachers, by doctors, by nurses. Nobody throws stones, nobody breaks shops, nobody assault policemen. That is the only legal protest that was there. They were lucky President Ruto was that good. If it were me, I would have done what Uhuru did in 2017 and 13. Those who wanted to protest on behalf of ODM did not even leave Kibera, Mathare, or anywhere else. They were locked in the houses. And the ones who came to the streets, Land Cruisers ran through them. And nothing happened. They were lucky. President William Ruto is that humane. So they protest. Who is sponsoring these protests? Even today, they told me, oh, don't call Uhuru Kenyatta's name. He has not retired. He went and rejuvenated Jubilee and told us that Jubilee, in which is the party leader, Matiang'i is going to be the candidate. Why is Matiang'i going to be the candidate? Because as Matiang'i sits today, if he does not get the support of Uhuru, he cannot be president. Right? Uhuru wants him to be president so that he can take care of his family in the future. That is why. A self-made person would not do it. Kenyatta helped Moi, so Moi took care of Uhuru. Uhuru wants to help Matiang'i, so Matiang'i will take care of his children. Let's say the truth as it is. So, Kenya belongs to all of us, and we must share its resources equally. Gen Z, let somebody not cheat you that you know you have no leader, you have no tribe, you have no party, and you notice the things that the government was doing were wrong, so you went to the streets. Even here as we sit, if there is somebody who claps here, the rest will follow. But he knows why he's clapping. Even the few Gen Zs who started the protest were told to do it. The rest followed thinking they are doing it on their own. No, they were not doing it on their own. They were following people who had gathered into a house and explained, this is what you're going to do. Now, there are certain things that also happened. These ones I'm going to leave you to go and think in your house. Before the Gen Z's protest began, the chief of staff in the office of the deputy president was called George McGoy from Siaya. He was removed from that office. Then there was reshuffle of staff in that office. Then General Ogola died. Then we went to the streets. Why do I connect this? Before the army generals, the army joins the protesters, you cannot change a government. So according to them, with General Ogola there, nobody would have changed the government. Even if they banned parliament, banned state house, banned Supreme Court, and banned everything, it is not possible. Until the army says enough is enough, we are now joining you. So let's investigate how and why Ogola died. Did he die so that the Gen Z's protest lead into a change of regime? Ladies and gentlemen, when I come for the Machakos chapter, I will want to continue the story from where I'm going to leave it. But Kenya belongs to all of us, and all of us must be able to share in its resources. One of the key resources of this country is leadership. It is the greatest resource, actually. You see how the people in leadership get very rich. So a Kisi, a Masai, a Turkana, a Luo, a Luya, a Pokot should be able to get leadership positions without people going to the streets to tell them must go home. Mheshimiwa,